What is... Kill me now.
So we are back once again for our weekly, well, it's kind of bi-weekly.
Like every other week, every other week, weekly thing.
Our weekly, every other week, bi-weekly, whatever you want to call it, whenever we drop it, Mandalorian series. Star Wars The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, Chapter 4. We're at Chapter 4 now of this 8-chapter series.
So if you watched our last review, you know that episode 3 was the episode that I was waiting for, and it blew me away. Now, what Vince mentioned in the last review was you were wondering if this was going to be sort of another bridge episode to the rest of the story, and it kind of was, but it kind of wasn't. I mean, it introduced the new character, finally, that we were talking about.
Yeah, finally. Gina Carano's character, which I've been waiting for her to enter this series because I did see some photos of her and some images, whatever, of her in the series, as well as the trailer for The Mandalorian, and they showed some couple quick clips of her, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see her in this series.
Now, what else was she in? I know she was in something else. What was it?
She's been in several things, actually. She's probably most known for, she was an American Gladiator when they remade American Gladiators back in like 2005, 2006, 2007, somewhere around in there.
There was something that Becky and I just watched recently that she was in, and she told me what it was, but I don't remember. And I said, oh, that's her? Okay, I can't remember what it was, though.
Okay, well, like I said, she was in American Gladiator. She played the character of Crush, and then recently, she's been in Deadpool. She was in Deadpool.
That's what it was. Okay, yeah. Alright, that's what it was.
And I forgot the name of the character she played in there, but she played alongside Francis. And she was kind of Francis's, I forget what she was, assistant of some sort.
Yeah, that's what it was. She was in the first Deadpool movie.
Yeah. And then she was also in, I believe it was Fast and Furious 6. Because she ends up fighting Letty in a hallway, and then there was a movie that she did all on her own, where she was the lead character in the movie, but the movie wasn't so great, but she was fabulous in it, and that was Haywire. Do you remember Haywire?
Barely. But you know what? Speaking of getting crushed, I'm gonna crush this eggnog right here. This is my first eggnog of the year, and you might be asking yourself, why is it snowing during our review? Well, this is Merry Maniacs. We didn't really say, but welcome to Merry Maniacs.
Yeah, exactly. It's Merry Maniacs. I've got my eggnog as well, and I got it right here in this nice Disney glass.
I got mine where it deserves to be, in a wine glass. But there's no alcohol. It's just eggnog.
Yeah, I don't have any alcohol in mine. It'd be better with alcohol, as we all know, but...
I don't know, I might need some before the end of this review. Okay, so episode 4. Now, obviously, anyone who's ever seen the Magnificent Seven or the Seventh Samurai knows this is what the story was in this episode.
Yeah, and there's a lot of this that also pays homage back to the Star Wars movies, the original trilogy anyway, because specifically with Gina Carano's character in this, she plays a trooper basically that was hired to, clean up after the Battle of Endor.
They said she was a shock trooper, I believe.
I forget exactly what she was talking about in that scene, but that was, and it goes back to that, as well as they have, for the first time in this series, they have an AT-ST, one of the AT-ST walkers that was like left over from the Empire.
So let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Alright, first of all, so the Mandalorian's looking for some place to lay low now. He needs to get out of the public and get out of sort of everybody's way who's looking for him. So he goes down to this planet, and I'm guessing the rest of the series is he's going to be on this planet. I'm assuming that's what's going to happen here, or most of the series now he's on a planet with obviously with Baby Yoda, and Baby Yoda had a really big role in this. It was probably his biggest role that he had so far in any episode.
He was fantastic. I mean, each episode with Baby Yoda has gotten better and better and better, and each time they show him, I mean, this one was even cuter. You know, using that word again, using the cute word. He was even cuter in this one than he's been in the 3 previous episodes.
Yeah, and I like what they were doing with it. I don't want to give out spoilers, I'm not going to, but I really like what they did with him in this episode, and it really kind of built his character a little bit and showed him, you know, trying to be himself, I guess. And I also really like that they built up the Mandalorian's character quite a lot in this episode. And of course, we're getting introduced to the new character. But other than that, I had quite a lot of issues with this episode.
I didn't really have any issues with this episode. I thought it was fantastic, and the introduction of Gina Carano's character in this, I've been waiting for that, and I thought she did a fantastic job.
The one thing, especially Becky, she should have been in this review. One thing that she said about this was, yes, there was an ATST, the chicken walker, in this episode. And let me say, what they did with the chicken walker was outstanding. They made it into a monster almost. It was really cool what they did to this thing in here. And it's like the best portrayal of any sort of thing I've seen like that in Star Wars. But the problem comes that this story has been done 100 times over, and once again we're getting a rehashed Magnificent Seven story, and you know, it's these villagers who can't defend themselves, so of course Mandalorian comes in to help them out, and it was just like, I've seen this before. Also, what Becky was also pointing out was that you have an ATST, yes, but little teddy bears, the Ewoks took care of it, and you're telling me an entire village of adults couldn't figure out how to take it down or take out these things that were attacking him? I mean, it just seemed kind of, I don't know, unrealistic is what I'm saying.
Well, you're also talking about where the Ewoks, they had Ewok warriors. They were proficient in using the woods to defend themselves and defend their village, whereas they're portraying this village of people where they're so peaceful that they don't have weaponry. They don't have anything.
You did see the Magnificent Seven, right?
I have not seen that movie in years, but yeah.
Well, it's the same thing. These people come into an old west town where people could not defend themselves, so then they train the people to defend themselves against the people who are coming in, so they can, you know, fight the things that come in, which is the same thing. The original one was Seven Samurai, and that was based, and everything else has been based. I mean, they've done this story 1,000 times. I've seen it so many times, done over and over and over, and that's what I just really didn't like, that they decided to take that storyline and put it in here.
I didn't have an issue with that at all. I've seen it. I agree. I've seen that story plenty of times. As a matter of fact, I was thinking, I even mentioned to my brother when we were sitting there watching it, I mentioned to him, I said, this is, especially when Gina Carano's character is showing, like I said, I can't remember her name in this, but anyway, when she's showing them how to use like pointed sticks or you know, as staffs, or as what do you call them, spears. So she's trying to teach them how to use them as a spear, and I pointed out to my brother, I said, that's like Army of Darkness.
Yeah, that's another example of that. Another example is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I went there. I'm just saying, there was another example.
This was much better.
But the things I did like about it, again, I really like what they did with Baby Yoda. I like that they did more with Mandalorian. He talked a lot in this episode. He actually did more talking in this episode than any other episode, probably. And just the story itself was just like, I don't know. It was okay, but it did have some really cool moments in it. And because of that, I am giving episode 4 a 3 out of 5. And I'm already on my second glass of eggnog before this review's over.
Wow, really? You're pounding it down that quick?
I'm crushing it.
Alright, I see where you went there. Well, I enjoyed this episode. I liked it a lot more than Dave did, obviously. And, introducing Gina Carano in here. And yes, I agree with a lot of what David said, but at the same time, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought, I didn't think it was the best episode yet, but I did enjoy the episode quite a bit. And I would give it a 4 out of 5.
I'm looking forward now to episode 5 just for the fact that now he's on this planet and we don't really know what's going to happen next. So, I'm really looking forward to I just have a feeling the next episode is going to be awesome. I don't know why, but I can't wait for it. So, hopefully you guys also cannot wait for our next episode to review this next episode of the next episode.
And of course, these episodes come out every Friday, so by the time we get these reviews up, the next chapter will be up. Or the next chapter will be on Disney Plus. So it'll probably be next week by the time we get it reviewed and get our episode up.
Well, we are very slowly getting caught up here. Very slowly, but we are getting caught up.
We should be able to get caught up by chapter 8.
Maybe. Yeah.
So, like always, what you guys need to do, Merry Maniacs, Box Office Maniacs, whatever kind of maniac you really are at this point, even if you're just an eggnog maniac, you need to subscribe. You need to subscribe, and you need to like our video, and you need to hit the little bell down there, and you can leave comments and feedback and everything, and let us know what you think of The Mandalorian so far.
Yeah. I'm going to go back and fill up my cup. It's getting low.
I just took a swig.
I've been drinking the whole episode.
So that's it, and we'll see you in the next chapter.